Hi friends, welcome back. I'm Diane. I've personally experienced what works at every income level, from earning 40K as an intern at the IMF to building a career advising private equity firms worth millions. After years of studying wealth distribution in America, I can confidently say smart money strategies work at every tier, but only when they're tailored. So in this video, we'll break down specific strategies for 40K, 80K, and 100K salaries. Proven techniques you can start using today to grow your wealth, no matter your starting point. Let's dive in. At $40,000 per year, you're most likely living paycheck to paycheck, so every dollar matters a lot. So if you made $40,000 a year, you're left with about $32,000 factoring in federal and state taxes. And that's roughly $2,700 per month to cover food, rent, transportation, and other essentials. When I was at the IMF early in my career, I lived this reality. As a single person, I shared a house. I spent about $1,300 on rent and utilities, split bills, ate modestly, maybe enjoyed 1 or 2 outings per month. Yes to avocado brunch and lattes. Took the DC Metro and one budget-conscious solo trip annually. I went somewhere where my money would stretch really far. That was it. A major emergency like a car accident that prevented me from working, or if I needed expensive repairs, would have been devastating. That's why the first key strategy at this income level is to save money. You want to save about 5 to 10% of your money and build an emergency fund. Aim for 3 months of expenses. So for an example, if you made $3,000 or you took home $3,000 per month, you would need about $9,000 saved in an emergency fund. You want to keep this probably in a high yield savings account. Second, you want to avoid high interest debt completely. It will keep you stuck in a financial hole. This is basically a non-negotiable at this income level. The margins are so thin already, so debt with high interest rates will blow you out. The third strategy you really want to think about here is to increase your income. At this income level, cutting expenses isn't enough. You can only cut so much. You need to focus on earning more. The key is to develop high demand skills that can boost your value at your current job or open doors to better opportunities. So when I was working at the IMF, I started to prepare for grad school. These prestigious institutions valued that experience. But depending on where you're at, today's market values different credentials. If I were to start again, I would focus on developing AI and tech skills through platforms like Coursera or Khan Academy. It's relatively cheap, and these are the skills that employers are willing to pay a premium salary for, especially given that the market is exploding. Now, if you're trying to figure out how to make more in your current field, I recommend using ChatGPT to help you. There's a free version you can use, and here's an example prompt to get you started. Let's say you're an experienced HR career coach. I'm an HR assistant in Seattle, Washington, earning $40,000. Now, if you're comfortable, you can also upload your CV or your resume for it to analyze. The goal here is to land a $65,000 HR generalist role within the next 3 months. Finally, start investing small. Invest about 1% of your take-home pay into low-cost index funds, which are collections of stocks that track market indices like the S&P 500. You can easily open an account with brokerage firms like Vanguard or Fidelity to buy these funds. This approach builds both the habit and system you'll need as your income grows. So if you can't invest 1%, start smaller. The key is to make it a habit at this point. At $80,000, you're close to the US median household income. You're in a spot where you can start building wealth if you're thoughtful. After taxes, you'll have around $5,000 per month to work with, which opens up new opportunities if you're strategic about it. The first strategy here is to eliminate debt. If you have high interest debt, you'll want to pay it off. There are 2 popular methods out there: the snowball method, paying off the smallest debts first to build momentum and confidence, or the avalanche method, which is targeting the highest interest rates, credit cards first to minimize interest payment. Personally, I'd go with the avalanche method, but any method will work here. The key is to get out of debt so you can move that cash flow towards building wealth. Now, the next strategy here is to save and invest 20% of your income. Now, hopefully you're able to build out 3 months. And if you can, you want to increase this to about 6 months if possible, if you're single. I'd recommend 6 to 12 months if you have a family. So for most $80,000 earners, aim to save anywhere between $30,000 to $60,000 in a high yield savings account. Next, don't leave free money on the table. Take full advantage of your employer's 401k match, usually 3 to 6% of your salary. At $80,000, that's an extra $2,400 to $4,800 per year in a retirement account. Take it. Next, with your extra savings, open and max out a Roth IRA. This account grows tax-free and you won't pay taxes when you withdraw in retirement. So So for 2025, the Roth contribution limit is $7,000 for individuals under 50 and $8,000 for those 50 and older. Catch-up contributions. Now that we've covered retirement accounts, let's look at how much you should aim to save over your career. These are rough guidelines provided by Fidelity to help you aim to save. According to Fidelity Income Multiplier, you want to 1x your annual salary by age 30, 6x your annual salary by 50, 10x your annual salary by 67. So let's say you earn $80,000. By age 67, you should have saved about $800,000. Now, we want to think, is $800,000 enough? By 67, if you're contributed to Social Security, you'll receive benefits, and the average monthly payment is about $1,800. But here's the thing, what will your lifestyle look like in retirement? Where will you retire? Is your home paid off? Hopefully. How long will you live? Recent polls have suggested that to be comfortable, many are aiming for over $2 million. So while Fidelity is a rough estimate and not to be overlooked at this income bracket, the number that you're trying to get to needs to be thought out given different lifestyle and choices. Additionally, all this is to say that it's important to invest early. If you invest $5,000 every year starting at the age of 25, you could have over $1 million by 65. But if you wait until age 45 to start, you'd only reach about $200,000, assuming a 7% average annual return. That's the incredible power of compound interest. Now, the third strategy here is to make it automatic and to track your progress. You want to set up automatic transfers from your paycheck using the MAP framework. So M for must-haves, 50 to 60% for essentials like housing and bills. Aspirations is 20% automatically saved to your savings and investment, and then 20% to your pleasures, basically your discretionary spending. Start with your employer's 401 match, which is automatically taken out. Then divide your remaining paycheck into dedicated accounts for each category. This automated system ensures that you're consistently meeting your financial goals without needing to track every expense manually. Now, with these percentages, you might have to tweak a little bit depending on where you're at. Now, if you're in a lot of debt, then you'll want to prioritize paying down your debt as fast as possible. Next, you want to track your net worth, assets minus liabilities, at least every 6 months to see the overall progress you've made. This key metric gives you a clear picture of your financial progress over time. So to start tracking your net worth, you can download my Notion template in the description box below. Finally, I'm a firm believer in having multiple income streams. Relying on a single income source is, in my opinion, extremely risky. Unexpected events like job loss, illness, or family emergencies can derail your finances. By developing multiple income streams through freelancing, consulting, or starting a small business, you can create flexibility and options for yourself, which is very important. So to start, you want to start small. To start, aim to earn an extra $500 to $1,000 per month. This additional income not only accelerates your wealth building, but also provides you a safety net if something were to affect your main job. Moving forward to $100,000 plus. At this income level, you've achieved significantly more financial stability. Monthly bills are probably covered and you're living beyond possibly your paycheck to paycheck. A crucial challenge many face in this income tier is that high earnings don't automatically translate to financial success. There are twin threats here, which includes lifestyle inflation and high interest debt, which can silently erode our wealth building potential. I know many people that are earning over $150,000 still live paycheck to paycheck due to expensive mortgages, luxury car payments, and credit card debt. So the first here is to define your ideal wealthy life. Rather than chasing arbitrary numbers, identify specific lifestyle goals and the financial milestones needed to achieve them. This clarity helps you resist unnecessary lifestyle upgrades that don't align with your vision. Basically, you want to calculate your walkaway number, the amount you need to become financially independent and transition to being the CEO of your lifetime. This typically requires 25 to 30% of your annual expenses invested in diversified assets. So to calculate your walkaway number, let's say your annual expenses are $60,000. Using the 25 to 30x multiple, your walkaway number would be around 1.5 million to 1.8 million. This means that you would need this amount invested in diversified assets to become potentially financially independent, assuming your expenses remain at $60,000. Now, are you close to your walkaway number? If not, what are your options? Ask yourself, what would it take? How much money do I need to make, save, and invest to get there? Again, you'll want to consider multiple income streams, investments, side hustles, and other ventures. The second strategy here is to maximize tax advantage accounts. Maximize your HSA contributions, and for more about HSAs, you can check them out near here, but basically these offer triple tax advantages. Additionally, if you have a business, you'll want to explore ways to optimize your taxes. better. Third, similar to the second tier, you want to build multiple income streams. Again here, think about building and owning equity. Buying equity is basically investing in stocks or other assets that increase in value. High yield dividend stocks and REITs for passive income. Building equity is potentially starting a side business, leveraging your professional experiences and making money. So you consider creating scalable business assets such as digital products, courses, ebooks, templates, software or apps, memberships, or other online businesses that are related to AI. Now, I mention this because I believe that we're witnessing a very interesting time right now with all the AI tools and AI automation and software programs out there. Friends, if you made it this far, thanks for watching all the way through. I hope you found some of these wealth building strategies helpful on your financial journey. For more personalized strategies, you can check out my monthly newsletter in the description box below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Now you can check my next video over here. See you in the next one.